I think I'll just go ahead and start and just ask you. First of all, we are so honored and happy that you're here in the States with us. But what I'm wondering is, what do you hope to accomplish? You know, when you, the ministers, when you guys come to the diaspora, what do you hope to accomplish with this visit?
I think a lot. But what is clear in my mind is this being election year in Kenya, and it being understood that for the first time, Kenyans who live in the diaspora will be voters at home. There's therefore the need to reach out to them. So this is a reaching out exercise, but one that is also enriched by the contribution of Kenyans themselves. You sat with me and you heard what Dr. Konditi, for instance, said. And so I hope at the end of this trip to have tried to reach out to as many Kenyans as possible. And thank you, because the media, I think, are part of it. Those who are not able to come to this town hall meeting, I'm sure will be somehow reached by your communication. And so we're telling them a good story about Kenya now. I mean, there's no country on earth which is an angel nation. But we are struggling. We have come, I think we have witnessed the worst. We went to the lowest level after the last general election. Went from a high of 7% GDP growth. We hit only 1%. And now we're just slowly coming up again. I think Kenyans are saying we do not want to go that way again. And so that's why you heard me talk about the need for all Kenyans who are seeking elected posts to be able to sign up to that charter by the National Integration Commission, basically calling on Kenyans to have a free, fair, non-violent election. Because if that happens, the level of confidence the rest of the world will have in Kenya, leave alone Kenyans themselves rediscovering themselves, will be tremendous. And that's what we need to be able to grow the economy. Because without FDI, foreign direct investment, coupled with Kenyans' ability themselves to mobilize their own savings and invest in their own country, domestic savings, we cannot grow the economy. And yet we are a very young nation. You heard me say that 65% of Kenyans today are aged below 35, and I think all of you are in that category.
Yes.
And you're very impatient about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you at Sauti Zetu as well with Esther? Most of us want to move back home, and the worry, the concern is security. What are you going to do about, security at large within Kenya?
We'll do whatever it takes, because when it comes to security, you cannot, unfortunately, talk of compromise. You can never compromise security in our nation. Remember what happened in this country, September 11? Yeah? Who would have imagined such a thing would have happened?
Yeah.
All right? Did Americans just sit on their laurels and assume, all right, it's business as usual? When it comes to security, it can never be business as usual. We have challenges as a nation with our neighboring states, more particularly the failed state of Somalia, which we know we're trying to help. And as you heard me mention, 5,000 or so of our men and women are actually doing business, very important business, in Somalia. And so Somalia is our assignment for now, not just because we would wish to see a more stable Somalia, which indeed truly is our wish, but because it's also in our national interest to make sure that Somalia is stabilized so that we can enhance our own security situation. So own security, just like Americans did not leave their country after September 11. And that was a show of a serious matter. I think that we haven't witnessed anything of the sort as Kenya, but we must prevent it. In fact, let me tell you, the bombing in 1998 of the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi should have served as a wake-up call to the whole world. But what did the world say? It said, oh, this is a third world country, not able to do ABC until September 11th happened. And the world learned about taken, because this also, the fight against terror is a world, it's a fight that must be engaged by everybody in the world today, without exception. So where we see, as in our region, the breeding ground of extremism, Al-Qaeda related activities, it is not also just Kenya's business, it's business for everybody. And so this is also a message you must send out clearly. But on our part, we will do whatever it takes. A government cannot be a government worthy salt if it cannot protect its citizens. And this is what we commit ourselves to do.
Okay, and Bianca from K360 TV, or Pasha, you want to go ahead and
like this? I'm going to let you go ahead. I have my issues going on. I don't know whether my microphone is capturing him, and people are trying to put me on the spot here, so that's why I'm not very comfortable.
I'll let Pasha go ahead.
Handle it. No, actually, I wanted to handle it so that I can get my issues straight, and we can take it from there.
Okay, sir, I wanted to touch on a very touchy subject. You have been viewed as being a very indecisive candidate, right? Someone who's not for everybody. So how sure are you that people are going to support you, because they view you as being indecisive and not for speaking for every single Kenyan? What do you have to say about that in indecision? And I'm pretty sure you're not indecisive, but
of course.
well,
I'm here to tell you that.
How do you defend your stance on that?
I'm here to tell you that I have never been indecisive. What I have, however, been is a listening leader. You should not confuse being indecisive with being able to listen. And this is why I was able to deliver peace in the Sudan, for instance, because I had to listen to everybody. If you think you are just thumping top of a leader who takes even the wrong decisions and gets our country into a pit, as happened after the last election, and then just look at the utterances of some of the leaders who may, according to some of your viewers or listeners, think they speak on behalf of you and me. For goodness sake, you have to stop. If you're a leader, you have to stop and reflect and take a decision, but not to think and talk every step. You say one thing today, you say another one tomorrow. All right? So I'm not in the habit of eating my words.
Okay.
As a lawyer, again, that's in my training.
Okay, so you always have a rebuttal. You always have a rebuttal.
Our country has never had a lawyer president. I think it's about time we tried one.
So if you went to the polls today, you're certain that you would actually win?
No. I cannot just thump. This is why I'm here. I'm trying to call on you and other Kenyans to support this very important assignment, because it's a national assignment. And I think all of us will be coming and we'll be able to say a lot of things to a lot of you. You had some of the things that is branding, really, where they just decide that you are black and not white and that kind of thing. You are a thief when you are not a thief. Yeah, you are indecisive when you are probably the sharpest mind in the country. And I think the record will prove us right. Yeah, and I think that when the chicken come home to roost, Kenyans are able to know who is a leader and who is not. Making utterances all over the place, some of which you eat. You say you are fighting corruption when you are yourself a partaker of corruption. It's really not helping us. So I want to be tested and tried on my own ability and my own merit. As I said, if you don't deliver as a president, you get impeached. This is all in our constitution. This is actually now in our constitution. And so please help us, help our country, and help us not to miss an opportunity to get the right type of leadership by broadcasting inexactitudes. Call them lies. Yes.